Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Mostly Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I have another movie from my Hulu queue called The Doorman, and it's starring Ruby Rose and Jean Reno. Now, Jean Reno, who is a very good actor, he's been in a lot of stuff. I think I saw him for the first time in The Professional, which, he was very good in, I thought. But Ruby Rose, I've seen her in a lot of stuff. I don't know a whole lot about her and her background. Her acting is okay for me. It's a little suspect. Do I think she could pull off starring in an action movie? Which is what this is? Well, we shall see. I go in with no preconceptions. I'll just watch the movie and they give me what they give me and I judge that. So, what is this one about? Well, we start out with Allie, Rose's character, and she's in the military, so she's pulling some sort of escort mission for an American diplomat and her daughter in some foreign country. And spoiler-free, things do not go well. We fast forward, and she's traumatized, and she's out of the military, struggling to make it back in the regular flow of the world. And her friend gets her this temporary job as a doorman. Now, what he didn't tell her was that her brother-in-law and his kids are in the building. Well, I should say former brother-in-law, spoiler-free. Most of the tenants are either gone or leaving shortly since the building is being renovated. Now, she's invited over for dinner when some criminals decide to take over the building and rob one particular apartment, and it just so happens it's the apartment that her brother-in-law stays in. There's something in there that they want to get, spoiler free, and that's where I will stop. From there, Allie has to use her skills as a super soldier to save her family and stop the criminals. So what did the pros think? Well, they came in at a 23%, with the audience at a 24% on the Rotten scale. The audience with, over 100 reviews, 100 scores, I should say, which, is crazy for this kind of movie. It just shows the popularity of probably Ruby Rose here. So there's no divide on this one. They both feel pretty much the same. And what did I think? Well, let's start with the positives. This is for sure a throwback movie. If you want to think about a lower grade Die Hard, that's kind of what this movie is in that lane. Trapped in an enclosed space, whether it be Die Hard or Under Siege, like the Steven Seagal movie. That's kind of what this is. So the nostalgia, it's strong for this type of movie. So, they don't make these type of movies anymore. And the setup and runtime are what you would expect, and that's fine. But there's nothing really but negatives left from here. The dialogue is really bad. But not that it matters with the subpar acting from just about everyone, except for Gene, who did his best with this material. And the actor playing Boris. Now, he's a co-star in a movie called The Trip, which I did on a few episodes back. Go back and listen to that episode. And he was really excellent in that. And he was good in this. It wasn't for lack of having, actors that could do the job. Just the script and the dialogue just wasn't good. And no mercy for these kids. You guys know I don't care about these kids. They were absolute trash. These kids were horrible. But acting aside, but with the bad dialogue, and then you throw on top of that the bad acting, it's just not going to be a successful combination in any way, shape, or form. Rose did her best, but she confirmed what I thought. She didn't really have the skills to pull this off. They had to do all those jump cuts that I hate so much because she couldn't pull off the fight choreography, which was really dated. She wasn't believable in this role at all. Nothing she did made me believe she was capable of pulling any of this stuff off. She's like 90 pounds soaking wet. She's not throwing around these huge trained military men, just simply. I mean, I understand, skill and fighting. If we're both equally skilled, then, if I outweigh you by 100 pounds and we're both equally as skilled, you're probably going to lose that fight. That's why there are weight classes in, sporting events. But you could say, hey, this is a street fight and doesn't count. Like I said, look at her movements and how she moves, and you'll see that, yeah, it's not believable at all. Even when she's running, she looks awkward. Doesn't even look like she could successfully run away from these people. But anyway, I don't want to beat this one up too much. Let me bottom line this one for you. Did I enjoy it? No, at least not in the way they wanted me to. I laughed a lot at this one. I put this one right at a 25% on the Rotten scale. All elements are here for an entertaining, low-budget action movie, which is what I thought I was going to get, because the cast is fine. Again, it doesn't look cheap. It looks fine. It looks like they spent a little bit of money on it for, this type of genre and where they were. With some more polish on the script, and maybe simplify the moves or the action sequences for her so the camera doesn't have to jump as much or pan out so far that we can't see what's going on because they don't want us to see the stunt double. Yeah, it would have been a much better cohesive project. Like I said, this could have been a fun little throwback movie instead of what they gave us, which was just painful to watch. So yeah, completely skip this one. You can go back and watch Die Hard or Under Siege or one of those other old time action movies. You'll have way more fun with it. Yeah. Anyway, I'll close it out right here. If this is your first time, don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production. Mostly low budget movie reviews with Clarence. Definitely come through and check me out. I have a whole lot of content up here now. Hundreds, no, not hundreds, but I do have over 100 episodes on here, so I'm sure there's movies on here that you've heard of that, hey, maybe you want to give a different opinion on that you haven't seen, and there's some movies on here that you've never heard of that I also reviewed that I'm sure you've scrolled through and seen on your list the time or two or in the suggestion. Also do disturbing horror movies or disturbing movies in general, where I discuss and see where they land on that scale. So if that's something that interests you, check that out. I have a few of those episodes up as well. So yeah, thank you once again for joining me for this midweek review, and I will be back again this weekend. Of course, I got a couple of movies that came out like right in the middle of the weekend last week that I didn't get a chance to watch, but I will get to them this weekend. So thank you once again. I appreciate the support, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.